one of the things that's come out of all of this is that the solutions that we are going to need to go into the future haven't yet been invented. They're still being devised because we've not had to. This pandemic has forced us into a situation where we've got to look at things differently, completely. And I think that's exciting because nobody knows what's going to come out. Well, you might because you're a futurist, but nobody knows what's going to come out of all of this intelligence that's going around. One of the things that I was not aware of was that universities around the world have been doing a lot of online e-learning for years because they get a lot more money for their professors doing research than they do out of teaching in a classroom. So university education has been online for a long time, and now schools here and around the world who are having to go online are trying to charge the same amount as if the child was in a classroom, and yet you can buy superb education from organizations that have been doing it for a long time. So that e-learning situation is going to change dramatically.
Absolutely, and you're seeing people completely reinvent their business model. I mean, we've had to reinvent our business model from, getting on a plane and traveling, 60 to 80 times a year to different, exciting locations, to doing it all from my desk. And the business model has changed. We're creating our own events, which we haven't done physically for a long time. And everyone is learning to do things differently. The interesting thing for schools and universities is that there were a lot of free offerings already, or low-cost offerings, Khan Academy, Coursera, you name it. There were platforms for delivering online content that have been around for more than 10 years. That some have had great take-up, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of sign-ups. The universities are getting in late on the act, but they're discovering a whole new business model. They're discovering that you can offer the course for free. Harvard does this now. You can get 300, 400,000 people sign up to take the course for free. But because they want the certificate that says they've been educated by Harvard X, you can charge them relatively low amounts, like $100 for the certificate. But you only have to have, a quarter of the people who take your course sign up for the certificate. And you're talking about 100,000 people paying $100. Suddenly you're talking about $10 million for, a 10-hour course.
Yeah.
Which you could never have imagined unless you were doing it for some super wealthy family or something, and it's only going to happen once.
But don't you think that that's going to generate an increase in bogus universities? I remember years ago, there was a number of advertisings for get your MBA. We'll take your CV, we'll go through it, and we'll send you an MBA, and it's 25 quid or whatever it was. And they're still around. But now that people are going to go online to learn, is there not a danger of that type of scam increasing?
I think buyer beware. There's scams in everything, and I'm hearing about incredible scams going on right now in the downturn that you think, on the one hand, you think, wow, that is so creative. But on the other hand, you think, that is really horrible, and that must be terrible for the victims. But, God bless the criminals. They've adapted and innovated and created new forms of crime for the downturn. I think now that I can get my course from Harvard for free, or from MIT or wherever, and I can pay for the certification if I want. The question is, why would I go to dodgy university? And even the Harvard course, if it's not very good, if I'm not enjoying it, I drop it and it's cost me nothing.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with online learning, that anyone can create a course, but not everyone can keep students on it. And so even with good courses, there's a massive decline in numbers. But I think we're at a really interesting point where people have the time to do a bit of learning. They have the inclination to, and it's the route to the future. So good online learning will shine through. Bad online learning will get the response it deserves.
Yeah,